Hello, I'm Bill Pollock, sports director at Missourinet and Missourinet.com. It's springtime, weather has warmed up, and we're all looking at plans of getting away, getting outside, enjoying the outdoors. And so we've got Susan Wade with us, who is the public relations manager for the Springfield Convention and Visitors Bureau. And I also have Dan Ryder from the Springfield Cardinals. I almost said St. Louis Springfield Cardinals. He's the vice president of sales and marketing. I want to thank both of you for joining us as we kind of talk about things to do in Springfield. And Susan, I'll start with you. As people are kind of planning, whether it's a week-long vacation, maybe a long weekend, or even just a day trip, I don't know if a lot of people consider Springfield, and they should. What would be one of the main things you would tell them right off the bat?
Well, one of the things we have found is people don't realize how big Springfield is and that it has a lot to offer. It's the third largest city in Missouri, and it has everything you would expect in a city, from museums to professional sports and great dining, great hotels. But it's still small enough that you're very comfortable while you're here in Springfield.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Big city, you don't have to worry about so much traffic, and you can kind of get away from the city landscape and still be out in the country as well. Listen, one of the big things, I'm a big baseball guy, so Dan, I want to talk to you first about the Springfield Cardinals. Listen, I'm sure a lot of people have been to Busch Stadium, Kauffman Stadium. Those places are great. But Dan, there's just something different about a minor league ballpark. And
Yeah, there absolutely is. It is so different. I think you're right on that. The big leagues, it's about winning. And again, the Royals last year and the Cardinals for the last century, they win. But minor league baseball, it's about the experience. And our staff, that's what we're all trying to do, is give people an experience. And it starts whenever they walk in. People can, we always have players at the gates where they can walk in and they can get an autograph from a guy who could be a future big leaguer. And it goes into the amount of work that we do to put together our on-field promotions, our stadium giveaways, our Friday night fireworks. Minor league baseball is about an experience, and that's what we want to give people. And when they spend dollars with us, we realize that it's entertainment dollars, and that's what we want to do. We want to entertain them.
Dan, I think one of the things that at least Cardinal fans are pretty fortunate is that rarely do you have a minor league team in the same state or that close to where you can see these guys. I mean, we're seeing some pictures here. Colton Wong, Shelby Miller, Matt Adams. I mean, these guys have all played in Springfield. A lot of times when the big leaguers rehab, they come down there too. So it's pretty rare to have your minor league team or one of your minor league teams that close to the big league park.
It's extremely rare. What's even more rare about it is that St. Louis owns us. And in minor league baseball, most of the teams are independently owned. So the fact that St. Louis owns us gives us an amazing relationship that a lot of people don't necessarily realize. But that's why our logos are so similar to St. Louis Cardinals logos. It's why we have been able to get some great rehab here, because the guys, they love the fact that they can pop down the highway and they get to come in here. They can drive back to St. Louis that night, sleep in their own beds. But they also feel welcomed by Cardinals Nation, and that's what we have here. It's an extension of Cardinals Nation. Our fans, they are huge Cardinals fans, and so we actually play into that as much as we can. And so many of our stadium giveaways are based on those players who have gone on to St. Louis. You mentioned Colton Wong and Matt Adams. Those are two guys we've done bobbleheads of in the past. We've done bobbleheads of Matt Carpenter. So a lot of these guys that you're seeing come up through the minor leagues, they play in Springfield, and our fans appreciate it, and we try to cater to that. And it's you never know who is going to be the next star for St. Louis. This starts out here in Springfield.
Dan Ryder is the Vice President of Sales and Marketing for the Springfield Cardinals, giving you some ideas, some things you could possibly do on your visit. What are some things that the club has going on this year that you can talk about at Hammons Field?
Well, one thing, if you're visiting from out of town, as far as a stadium value goes, every Thursday night we do a dollar brat night. And I think it's if you think of going somewhere and getting dollar brats in the stadium, I think people love it. So any Thursday you come, you're going to get dollar brats. Friday nights, we're going to have an amazing fireworks show. I know you're just showing some pictures right there of the fireworks. And those are going to be every Thursday, Friday. But after that, we mix in stadium giveaways. This season, we're going to do a series of 10 connecting bobbleheads. So the bobbleheads are actually going to connect to form a home plate. So it's an amazing collector's item. And again, it's all guys that have gone through Springfield. Voting starts on opening night, so April 9th voting is going to start, and for 1 month fans are going to get the chance to vote on what bobbleheads they want to see in that series.
That's cool. Now, is this a type of activity where you can just walk up and get tickets, or is this something that you better plan in advance? Tickets might be hard to come by.
I would always recommend planning in advance because, again, like last year, for example, when Yadi Molina had a rehab start, you couldn't get tickets. So even if you had planned on coming that night, tickets were sold out, and you had to sit in the grass when you wanted to see. So it's always best to plan ahead and buy them. But we do have tickets that are always available. You might not get the seat that you want, but we have general admission tickets where people can pay about $6. They can come in, they can sit on the grass berm in the outfield. So for $6, you can get in the ballpark at any time. But if you want that specific seat or an all-inclusive area, highly recommend to plan ahead and order ahead of time.
All right, good stuff. Now let's go back to Susan, who is the Public Relations Manager for Springfield Convention and Visitors Bureau. Susan, obviously so much more to talk about. Being based here, Missourinet, in Jefferson City, I hear people from this area all the time who are traveling to southwest Missouri, wherever they're headed, and one of the first things that comes out of their mouth is, well, they're either going to stop there on the way down or on the way back, but it's a visit to Bass Pro Shops.
That is true. You know, it is the most visited attraction in Missouri. A lot of people don't realize that. It's the biggest Bass Pro in the world. It's the first Bass Pro in the world, and it truly is just amazing. They have aquariums and taxidermy displays and museums within the store that are free to go to, like the NRA Sporting Arms Museum and the Archery Hall of Fame. You know, you can shop for clothing. They have gifts. They have jewelry, and then of course, you know, you can't go there without looking at fishing gear and hunting gear. They have everything from, you know, from hiking to golf gear. It's just an amazing experience, and it's a lot of fun.
I just started, so both of you know, I just started getting into hunting, and so I actually made a trip down there a few years ago, and I remember somebody, oh, we're going to Bass, and I'm like, what are we going there for? It's like, I have no interest in this at all. It's an amazing place. I mean, I enjoyed myself, and I wasn't even into hunting and fishing then, so now I can't wait to go down there. So that's certainly something that's on my list to do this summer. Dan, do you golf at all?
I try. So some days are better than others, but I do enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, I like to rip up the course as well. Anything big in terms of golf? Some courses to check out?
Well, I think the biggest golf event is the Price Cutter Charity Championship. It's held here every year. It's actually the way that golfers are now going to go to the PGA. They're going to have to actually play in this tournament and get enough points. So every August, Springfield hosts a massive golf tournament. And if you're an avid golfer, it's a great time to be able to come down here. But if you're wanting to hit the courses themselves, there's some amazing both public and private courses. So again, if you go out, and I just see the sign for River Cut out there. It's absolutely beautiful. River Cut's one that hopefully you've got a long golf game, so you're going to have to drive it a little bit. But you know, River Cut's great to go to. Deer Lake's another one that's extremely fun. But I know the private courses. If you can know someone, both Highland Springs, Hickory Hills, Millwood, they're all great courses to be able to go to. Every time I've been out there, I'm always so proud that Springfield has so many golf courses. Because as I've been out of town and visited some other ones, they're just not up to par with what Springfield has. So I think people that are golfers are going to be very, very pleasantly surprised with how nice the courses are in Springfield.
All right, good stuff. Susan, I want to go back to you here. There was something that I saw on this list as I was looking at some of the things that they have. And I went to Chicago for the Easter, and I heard people talking about these trampoline parks. What it sounds dangerous for me now. I mean, being an old guy, but it sounds like a lot of fun and something you can burn some energy and get those kids tired. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I have to admit it sounds dangerous to me too. Jumping around might not be the best thing to do at my age, but it's an indoor trampoline facility, and they have 30 trampolines. You can play dodgeball and volleyball and do all kinds of different games. It's huge, and it's amazing. I haven't actually been to the facility yet, but I drive by it, and the parking lot is always full. Apparently, it's going over really well.
Dan, you ever do that?
Not yet. I actually am excited to take my niece, though. So she's 8 years old, and it's been a busy time of the year for me getting ready for baseball. But we have a new partnership the Cardinals do with Sky Zone, so I'm very excited to go out there and try it and take my niece. Because I know my wife won't be willing to jump, so I'll be the one that has to get on there with her.
Yeah, that'll be good. And listen, stick around as you're listening to Dan and Susan talk about this too. We've got a prize package that we're going to be giving away, so you can spend some time in Springfield, and we'll get to that in just a few moments. Listen, a lot of outdoor people. Susan, there's trails, there's bike paths. Talk a little bit about what Springfield offers in that realm of activity, if you will.
Well, Springfield is home to the Ozark Greenways Trail Network. It's more than 60 miles of trails, and they go through the city if you want that urban trails experience. They go through parks and places like that. But if you want to go from one place to another, you can ride the trails from Springfield to Bolivar, which is a 35-mile trail. It's the second longest rail-to-trail trail in Missouri, but there are other trails you can take that will, take you from Springfield to a smaller town or through rural areas. They're paved. Most of them are paved, I should say. So they're easy rides. You can do harder rides with the hills and all of that, but there's a lot of trails just throughout the city, a lot of places to enjoy that. And then, of course, outside the city, there's plenty of places to go for trails. And biking and hiking.
I was going to get ready to wrap this up, and then I thought, wait a minute, got to talk about the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. Dan Tony LaRussa is going to be a Missouri sports legend, and I think his ceremony is at the end of May or sometime. Is that right?
Yeah, it's coming up. So, we're very blessed to have the Sports Hall of Fame here. And I think regardless of what sport, they do different luncheons, whether it's football, basketball, baseball. They have different luncheons that really try to feature these different people. So there's definitely some great Cardinals representation, which, of course, is what, we like to hear about. But, Missouri Sports Hall of Fame, it's actually right by one of the golf courses that I had mentioned earlier by Highland Springs. So the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame, they do an amazing job. If you're visiting Springfield, I think you are going to love the exhibits you see. There's several that are interactive for kids. I believe one of them you get the chance to actually do a radio call for Stan Musial getting his 3,000th hit. So again, you're probably looking at that one right there. But it's just such a fun place to be able to visit and to take people, whether adults or children.
That is cool. Now that's what I'd have fun calling the 3,000th hit. That'd be great. So,
you need to come on down and do that. It really is fun.
I know. Yeah. I mean that's worth it right there. And then we see some of the interactive displays that they have as well. So I mean, and listen, as you can tell, there's plenty to do. What did I miss? Maybe from both of you, Susan and Dan, real quick. What are one of the fun things that you like to do? Like when people go somewhere and they say, "All right, hey, what do the locals do? What's fun?" Can you pick one thing?
Shopping. We have Battlefield Mall and lots and lots of boutiques, and then I enjoy going to the flea markets and the resale shops. There are tons of those here, and I'm kind of a bargain hunter, so I find some pretty interesting things. How about you, Dan?
Oh, well, I obviously have to say Springfield Cardinals baseball. But other than the baseball, I love to take people to restaurants in town. And I think that Springfield is the home of cashew chicken. And I think it's great to be able to take people to get some Springfield-style cashew chicken because that's where it started. And then I always like to take them for dessert at Andy's Frozen Custard. So obviously from the St. Louis area, people love Ted Drew's. But Springfield, we've got a gem in Andy's Frozen Custard. And any one of my friends or family that visits, that's always one of our stops is to kind of go get some great original Springfield food and then to stop by, again, one of those little treasures, Andy's Frozen Custard.
That's good. Yeah. Go ahead, Susan. I'm sorry.
Andy's is just incredible, and I'm so hungry now.
All right, well, let's do this. Let's talk about this prize package. Let me bring this up and show everyone what they can win. 2 nights at the Best Western Plus Coach House, $100 Bass Pro Shops gift card, 4 Springfield Cardinal tickets, and you might see Dan get an autograph from a player, and then a $100 gift certificate to Gilardi's Ristorante. Did I say that right? Gilardi's?
You did.
Right. I got it. Very good. My Italian teacher would be very proud of me for that one. So. All right, so how do you sign up and win that? Go to Missourinet.com. If you're watching this hangout on our website, then you're right there. Or just go visit our website and look for your chance to sign up and win that great prize package. So, Dan from the Springfield Cardinals, why do we keep saying that? From the Springfield Cardinals, and Susan from the Convention and Visitors Bureau, thanks so much for your time and really giving us some exciting and great ideas for this summer.
Well, thanks for having us, Bill.
Thank you.
Yep, appreciate it. And thanks for watching us here at Missourinet.com.